high five your neighbor. Say it's in me. Now, if your neighbor looking perplexed, say it's in you too. Say the God that's in me is the same God who's in you. The truth of the matter is sometimes we don't finish what God has begun because we don't get it. That what we are called to do is finish a work and not start a work. You are only continuing what God has begun, meaning that the stuff that you are worried about if you can do has already been started, and all you have to do is commit to continue. The text says in the King James, take your journey, or as the NIV says, set out now and cross. And I like that because what it convinces me to do is to make up in my mind to not abort what's been started in me. Say, neighbor, I ain't going to abort this baby. Oh, God, I just heard somebody say, no. Look, say, I ain't going to abort this baby. Say, this baby going to live. Okay, turn to somebody else. Say, this baby that's in me, it's going to see life. Y'all missed what I just said, so y'all too deep for me. Say, neighbor, say, this thing is going to live. I cannot abort, and you cannot abort the gift, the promise, the favor that's in you. You cannot allow your fears, your insecurities, and people's opinions of you force you to stop what God has begun. I cannot abort the promise that God gave to me, even though I am challenged by the process that God is using. So what God is telling the children of Israel is that you are too blessed, too much a part of my plan, and you've been through too much not to take the next step. Let me rewind that thing because y'all missed it. You are too blessed. Say, neighbor, you are too blessed. You are too blessed. They're going to get this by the third time. Say, you are too blessed. Say, too much a part of God's plan, and you've been through too much. Not, oh God, who am I? I need about 15 folk who can testify that you've just been through too much to quit. No, I need to know where those saints are. I'm talking to right now. You have fought too hard and endured too much not to keep going. You can't stop now. You are too close to your answer prayer, too close to your change, too close to your dream coming true, too close to victory, too close to getting back on track, too close to hearing God make a way, too close to seeing the promise, too close to your breakthrough, too close to getting the job, too close to getting married, too close to turning your back, too close to bowing your head. You got to make your move now. You got to take the next step now. You got to walk into your future now. You got to commit to complete now. And here's why. It's real simple. Verse 24 says, I have given into your hand. I have given into your hand Sihon, the Amorite, king of Heshbon, and his country. I not only gave you his position, I gave you his stuff, and you got to begin to take possession. God is saying, make your move now, because I have dealt with those obstacles that were in your way. I've dealt with the potential problems, and I've dealt with anything that could have complicated you landing where I was. In other words, I've already cleared the land. They just don't know it yet. You missed it. I've already weakened your enemies. They just don't know it. I've already changed the nameplate on the door. They just don't know it yet. And what God is saying to you is that by the time you get where I'm sending you, what you thought was going to be a problem, I would have already dealt with it. So all you have to do is go and do and know that by the time you get there, what was potentially a problem will no longer be a threat, because I would have already dealt. Say, neighbor, you already dealt with it. No. Pinch them. Say, it's already done. No. Say, the loan is already approved. Say, no. The job already got your name on it. All you need to do is go and know that by the time you get there, I would have already dealt with the potential setback. Here's what I'm saying to somebody who God has been pressing to make a move, and you've been worried about the outcome. Here it is. Just go and believe that by the time you get to the door that looks closed from a distance, it will be open when you go turn the knob. See, that's what you call crazy faith. I need somebody who's ready to just start walking, knowing that when you get there, it ain't nothing that the devil can do to keep you from going through the door that God has already said. I need some folk who are waiting on a promise. Where those folk who are waiting on a promise? I said, I need some folk who God spoke to you and told you it's yours. Here's all you have to do. When you get up, that's the first step. When you get up and face the mountain, you don't have to say a word. You ain't got to push your way in. All you got to do is go and look. You missed what I just said. All you have to do is go and look. Here it is. And seize your season. Anybody here know that it's time for you to just seize your moment? No. See, y'all too cute. Well, where are those folks who've been waiting too long? I mean, you've been crying yourself to sleep, walking the floor at night, worrying instead of sleeping. I dare you to just tell the devil right now, devil, you know what? You have scared me for the last time. Can we celebrate right there? You have intimidated me for the last. I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. He says, watch this. I'm going to get out. I'm let you go. He says, shift when signals. A neighbor, shift when signaled. Commit to complete. I ain't going to start something and not finish it. But watch this. And here's the one that made me shout in my office. He says, when you make your move, expect to go beyond what's in between. Oh God, you missed it. Because the problem is we see where we want to go, but there's something even though there is something between where you are and where you hope to go, you cannot be deterred by the width of the challenge. As a matter of fact, God tells them, he says, cross over the river Arnon. You didn't get it, did you? Okay, tell your neighbor, cross the river. You ain't get it. We're talking about the people of Israel who ain't have no boat, ain't have no paddle. And God's telling them, how do you cross a river with no boat? He says, I'm releasing you. I'm going to holler in a second. I feel it coming. I'm releasing you to possess what you have prayed for. But to get there, you've got to cross a river. You've got to get over something that is in between you and where I'm taking you. You've got to get by what appears to be an uncrossable object. But it says, don't allow what's in between you and your blessing to intimidate you, scare you, or cause you to compromise and settle. Don't allow the appearance of the mountain to cause you to back away from what God has for you. Don't allow its height, its depth, its width, the people there, or even its reputation to force you to give up on your dreams just because it's big big does not mean it's uncrossable. Just because it's tall does not mean it's unbeatable. Just because you don't have the education that somebody else has does not mean you're not qualified. Just because it's strong does not mean it's invincible. You've been hanging around this mountain long enough, number one, to know that God can do anything that he wants to do. I say you've been hanging around this mountain long enough to know that God can do anything that he wants to do. But you've been hanging around this mountain long enough, secondly, discouraged by the appearance of defeat, worried by the magnitude of the moment. You've been too scared to try because you did not want to fail. But I've come on divine assignment to let somebody know that what you see that appears to be too big, what seems to be impossible, what the devil